Hey gun people, we're going to talk about some revolvers again, since I got some good questions on revolvers. My boys are out here. The wind's coming out here. I was going to do this outside, but starting just to sprinkle. Man, I hope we get enough rain. I just saw a few drops. Kind of see it a little bit on this black thing here, but not much. Hi boys! You want a bath in the rain? Whatever, Dad. Finishing up their little flake alfalfa from the morning. Man, that wind's coming in. It's nice. Come on, baby. Give me some rain. Longhorn said he needs a drink. Foghorn. Leghorn. Alright, let's talk about, I had to pull this in the garage. I don't know if that's going to be enough light. I'm going to try and stand maybe right over here in the light. I've got the light on in here. I'll turn this light on out here. I don't know if it'll give us any light or not. Hi, Monkey! You want to say hi to YouTubies? Monkey, you want to say hi to YouTubies? Don't you sass me! Don't you sass me on YouTube! You're going to get a spanking. There ain't no sense in that. Hi, you boobies. I'm a gun kitty. Oh my goodness, he's a good boy. Let's put... Why, no, we're going to use you as a little fur wrap today. Go on over there. Go on, get up Dad's head. Alright. Let's talk about some revolvers. So, I've got a few revolvers out here. Ran around the neighborhood and collected them from, I got neighbors that's got a lot of guns, so I asked them to show it. So this is the, no, which one did I use the other day? This is the one I used the other day, 686. People think this is chromed. It's not chromed, it's stainless steel. This is from years. This gun's probably 20, 30 years old. I mean, I got this back in the Air Force. Hell, I want to say 80-ish. But this is from polishing it. Every time I clean it, it gets a little shinier. It's more of a, it was a dull stainless, like a lot of stainless is, because they don't spend time polishing it. But I put a little of that flitz, and I do it. Oh, I'm lasering my hand. Ooh, hope that gun's safe. Ooh, that looks like a bullet in there. Ooh, he's handling a loaded gun. Ooh, it's gonna go off. Look out. Shut up, you big crybabies. So, all these guns are loaded that I'm working with. But I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to stick my finger in a trigger, shoot it, and go, oh, the gun went off. Alright, so we're going to talk about a little more things about revolvers. I talked about the yoke and swinging that arm. So I think I have a couple of chrome ones. Let's see what we got here. This is also a stainless. I think I've showed this before. And again, that's just from kind of polishing it. This isn't nickel. They used to have nickel and they used to have chrome. And I think this one, no, it's 686. I brought a little blued one out for contrast. Let's see if you like blued or whatever. Oh, he just lasered his truck. Oh, he lasered. Oh, he lasered. Oh, he's a laser guy. Will Robinson come home? Whatever, you big crybabies. Alright, so this is a blued. This is a little Colt, and this is a Smith. So, those are the contrasts of these little guns. Different barrels, sometimes you'll get different handles, sometimes you'll get what I call an unprotected shroud, or the ejection pin. This one's protected on one side, it's got a little place to set in the other side. This has a bobbed hammer, this has a regular hammer. So that's the difference between guns. Does it matter what it looks like when you're looking down it? I'm not real sure. Most of these are all 38 357, so the barrel holes should be the same. Some may look bigger, they may look smaller. Triggers, normally on revolvers, about the same. Not a whole bunch of difference in the triggers there. His truck! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! He's gonna be in trouble. Shut up, you bunch of crybaby, range trained, never had a gun in an actual incident. Okay, I think this one might be chromed. Chromed, they used to have nickel plated and chrome plated. Some people say the same, some people say they're different. Some say nickel's harder, some say chrome's harder. You know what? I don't know. But chroming and nickel plating guns on the older guns, and I don't know what model this is, some Smith dude will be like, that's a, let's see, it's got a little pin barrel. I see the little pin there. When you're getting old revolvers, you see that little pin right there? That's called a pin barrel. So when they put the barrel in, they put a pin. It's supposed to make the barrel more secure, more accurate. It's old school. They don't pin barrels anymore. They've probably gotten better with locking mechanisms. Maybe the old school where they pinned them is better. But if you find an older revolver with a pin barrel, normally they'll tack on a premium. So this is chrome plated and this is stainless steel. Is there a difference? I don't know. Some people may say yes, some people may say no. Barrels should be the same, no matter which one. 4-inch versus 6-inch. Okay? If you put the triggers together, you'll notice the 6-inch. I wish I had my little count, Sesame Street count here to count the difference from 4 to 6. So this is a 6-inch barrel, 4-inch barrel. 6 inches longer. Remember that, guys, when you're talking to your women. 6 is more than 4. Alright, what do we got here? Oh, so these two, I want to say this one is nickel plated. This one might be nickel plated too. I'm not sure. I think both these are either nickel or chrome plated. And again, you know, they're all 38, 357. Does the longer barrel look bigger? Maybe. Shooting the same bullet. These guys are shooting the exact same bullet. Which one looks bigger? Which one looks more dirty harryish? Which one is making the liberals right now duck and dodge? Here, watch me make a liberal dodge. Ooh, he pointed it. Ooh, he's gonna shoot the camera. Shut up, you big dummies. So, again, now the most of the taking the cylinder release button is the same. This got a hammer. The hammers are normally the same on revolvers where you pull back. Triggers pretty much the same. I'm going to talk about timing here. I think that's all of them. Wait, maybe I brought one more. Oh yeah. This one's stainless steel for sure. Maybe I'll do the timing on this one. So this is not nickel, it's stainless steel. I know somebody's going to be complaining about the light. If I come out here in the light, I don't want it raining on me. Can you see the difference? Woo! Ooh, he lasered his barn. Woo! Oh! Alright, so let's take a look at... Oh, this one is also a little different. This is the 7-shot. So it has 7 bullets instead of 6. Most revolvers have 6. You can get some with 7. I have a 22 that has 9. Maybe it's 11 shots. Because it's 22, it's really small. But I think it's a 9-shot. So this 7 holes in a cylinder versus 6. That's another difference that you can find. And when you saw me dump those out, normally when you dump it, I showed you how to hold it with the 2 fingers or 2 fingers here. And then you work the ejector with your thumb. So when you dump this gun, you press these 2 out and you go, and you give it a little flick, and that makes sure it loosens up and everything falls out. Okay? So this little set screw right here, there's a screw on the opposite side that the cylinder falls. So when you're looking at a revolver, when this thing opens and closes, this bar goes inside here and it's below my finger. And that little screw right there is called, I call it a tension screw. It controls how loose this is. You notice this one is a little tight, probably more tight than I like it. See how it stays there and it'll fall? I should probably back that tension screw off. This thing should fall pretty easy and slow. Is that an issue? It's not an issue. Probably when I clean it, I put it in. Some people will set it with a little Loctite and they get it to where it won't back out. Some people say never take it out. If you do, you'll ruin it. You'll strip it, it's set at factory, and you'll screw it. I take these out all the time because when you take this screw out, this cylinder will slide off. It allows you to clean inside there, which nobody ever cleans because they're afraid of a damn screw. So I always kind of, maybe I can see better. I always take that screw out and slide the cylinder forward. It takes a tube that runs inside here out, and then I can clean all those tubes, oil them up, make sure there's not a bunch of gunk collecting in there. Old revolvers, man, I always take them completely apart because I want to clean everywhere. Even if your cleaning is just spraying oil all over it and blowing it out, you're going to remove unburnt powder and things like that. So that's kind of important. So this screw, the two tips on this video, is going to be this screw right here, which controls how easy this falls and how loose that is and how much it takes. On my other ones, this falls easier. I have this a little tighter than I'd like, but I don't open it a whole bunch. Again, it's my neighbor's. If he wants to loosen it, he can. So, and then the other thing that I want to talk about is timing. So, another thing to look for when you're buying a used one is the more you shoot and shoot a gun, especially a blued one, you'll get a line right here. And that line tells you how much. Now, in stainless guns, you can polish that line off and you won't see it. Let me see if I've got a line on one of these. Usually on a blue one, it shows up better. No, I don't really have a line on that one. Maybe you can see it a little bit. On this Colt here, there's a little line right here. As this cylinder spins, yeah, I know it's loaded, be quiet. Okay? So as that spins, what happens is this little notch right in here that stops your cylinder from spinning as you spin it, and I'll show you how to. See how that goes up and down? See that little, when I pull the trigger back, that little thing right there goes up and down? That releases so the cylinder can spin, and it allows your cylinder to spin. And you get a little clicking, and that's that little stop right there going in these little grooves. And you'll get a little scraping action right along here. So a revolver that's had a whole bunch of rounds, a lot of shooting, you'll see almost like a cut, a metal cut in here. Is that critical? It may tell you the gun's been fired a few times, but on a stainless, again, a lot of times you can polish that off. But that's normal wear and tear. You're not going to really stop that. So again, the two things I wanted to get on this is the set screw here to control how easy this opens and closes. And then the other thing was, oh, timing. Shit, I keep forgetting. So somebody asked a question about timing on a revolver, and it's not like a timing on a car or timing wheel. When I pull this trigger back, this cylinder should lock into place like it did. If it doesn't, then it's not putting the round in the right position, so the primer is directly where, when you pull the trigger, it's going to fire the gun. So a pistol or a revolver off timing would be like that. If I cock this all the way back and then I can move the cylinder afterwards, my timing's off. Because when I cock it back, the cylinder should lock in place. There shouldn't be any play. If your timing's off, or you don't pull the trigger back all the way, actually this one locks in very quickly. So where does it lock in? It moved, it's not locked in. It moved, it's not locked in. It moved, it's not locked in. It's locked in. So, and what causes that is there's a little, I call it a rocker arm. Again, somebody, maybe I'll Google it. There's a little bitty thing right there that moves up and down, and I'll see if I can get that online or on camera when I. Maybe if I took my damn sunglasses off, it wouldn't look like I couldn't see. So did you see that little arm? Watch this little arm right here. Should go up. As it goes up, it's pushing on these little things right here spinning the cylinder, and it locks it into place. And if it locks it in correctly, the cylinder will, when it's cocked in single action, will lock into place. And that's how you're timing. If you need to adjust that, that's a different video and a lot more. You can change this arm, you can do some filing, you can whatever. So I'm not going into fixing it. I'm just telling you, if you're buying a used revolver, you should be able to cock it, and once you cock it, this cylinder should be locked in. If it's got any play after it's cocked to the rear, then your timing's off. Not a huge issue. It's a huge issue to shoot a gun if it's not locked into place, because then when you're cocking it, it may not line up. You'll fire it and you'll get a blank instead of a bang. So again, that's just a little couple little different things. I know there was a couple of people that were like, you know, I didn't know that much about revolvers. I was thinking about getting one. Semi-automatic is the new rave, and everybody has them. And look, they're both tools. They're both good. I mean, what's better, the flathead screwdriver or the Phillips? Well, it depends on what screw you're working on. So, is an automatic better than a revolver? Revolver better? Look, somebody else asked me which one would I carry or use on duty. I carried a revolver a lot. Sometimes I carried it as a backup. When I flew on a plane, a lot of times I had that 357 in my backpack and my Glock on my side and a Glock on my ankle. So if I was flying, because I'm paranoid, I don't like flying, and if I do fly, I want to be able to arm people and take out people. So I always had like 3 guns on me when I flew. So which one do I prefer? Yeah, I like them both. I mean, the revolvers are nice. Some automatics are nice. 1911s are nice. You know, the difference between a Kimber and a Colt is the stamp and maybe the bluing process, maybe a little here and there. There's not a whole bunch of difference. If the gun function and works, you know, the people that are out here are Kimbers are bad, or Colts are bad, or Smiths are better, or SIGs are the greatest, and this and that. You know what? That's the same thing you get in the car. Don't own a Ford, don't own a Chevy, don't own this, they're all that. You know what? I had shit experience with Ford. I only bought one Ford, didn't like it. I won't buy it again, but does that mean all Fords? Of course not. I mean, I got people here that freaking hate me because I talked about Ford. And I got people because I like Glock. They're like, you don't know what you're talking about, Glock's a piece of crap. So, I mean, look, if you're going to be narrow-minded and put labels on things like that, then I can't help you. But I'm just telling you, revolver versus semi, they both function differently. One takes more training. They both operate differently. I like having a varied knowledge on all guns. I don't think there is a gun made, and I haven't handled every gun, but I don't think there's a gun made that I can't pick up, load, and put that gun into action relatively quick. Because I understand the basics of how a gun works, and how I've seen different guns, and how I have break-open guns on shotguns, and I have semi-automatics with bolts, and I have bolt actions, and I have revolvers with hammers, and automatics with slides. And the more you familiarize yourself with all type of weapons that fire bullets, the more likely you're going to be able to get a bullet or a gun into action. And that's my goal if I was teaching somebody. And especially women, because women don't tend to shoot as much. I mean, I know there's going to be some women. I know there's women that shoots more than you, and just shut up, you freaking dummies. I'm talking about in general women. They just don't enjoy or really get into guns. So to give them varied and to make them, I want, if my daughter, my wife, my mother, significant, whoever, if I'm preparing them to survive, I want them familiar, so if they see a gun, they know there's a trigger, there's something that hits the bullet that goes bang, and the bullet has to be in there for the hammer to hit it and the trigger to pull. And I don't care if they use the trigger as the straight curvy thing and the hammer is a little thing in the back that you pull. I don't care about definitions. You get these people all caught up and want to come here and be smart. I hate that on my horse channel. You know, well, that's called a rein, and that's a marten, and that's an English sitting bull, and you don't understand the purpose of it. Shut up with your, you know, anybody can get the right definition of a hammer, trigger, and all that, but that's not important to me. What's important to me is you understand it, you know what they do, and if you had to use it, fix it, or get it into action, you can put a gun into action. And again, there's no doubt in my mind, there may be a gun out there I don't know about, some secret squirrel stuff. There goes a stinking wasp. But, you know what? I think you give me a bullet and a thing that fires that bullet, and I can get that bullet in there and able to fire relatively quick. And that just comes from varied experiences. And if you've never shot a revolver, you're not comfortable with revolvers, then I would go rent one. I mean, nowadays you can go in a gun store and for $5 you can shoot for an hour. Go there, rent a revolver, buy some cheap ammo, you know, $25, whatever dinner's going to cost, or a night out drinking, whatever, and go shoot a couple revolvers. Understand how they work, maybe jam it up, maybe do something, go, shit, I wonder why that happened. And figure things out, because experience is the best teacher, and an experience becomes problems and plans fall apart, and you have to adjust on the fly, and being able to adjust is the key, not knowing every specific part has the hammer and the forged and the unforged and the metal and the steel and the variance fracture point of this, and this is better because it's got this and that. Yeah, all that minutia crap. You know what? When shit hits the fan, you just want to be able to survive. So, hell man, I have my coffee up there. I didn't even drink a sip of my coffee. Now I got to go take a sip. All right. So those are revolvers, and the tension set screw on how the cylinder falls out, on how much pressure is on it or not. It should be very loose. There should be no pressure. Basically, that screw should only stop it from flying out or taking it apart. It should not necessarily control how fast it swings. So that one is a little tight. Let's see. And what was the other thing I covered? Oh yeah, timing on the cylinder. All right, so hopefully you got something out of that. Hopefully it wasn't too much darkness. Everybody be like, where's the light? It's too dark. The wind was blowing. I don't like your t-shirt. Why do you have shorts on? Your legs need sun. Your shoes don't match. Shut up, you freaking dummies, and take the damn lesson for what it is. All right, we'll end that there. Buddy, Miss T, you're... Where's my kitty cat? Smokey, where did you go? Where's Smokey Mo? All right, I was going to let y'all say hi, bye to Mokey. But I don't know where they're at. Oh, there he is. Shit, he's like, Dad, shut the hell up. I'm sitting up here. You're being a damn fool. Batman, what's that? Okay, he's making videos with Dad on Sunday because he's a good kitty. All right, well, in that there.